It takes about 20 minutes to put together, and you only need a few things. You're going to need 2 coordinating fabrics. I chose this black and this for the front. I use flannel, and I usually get about 1.25 yards cut at the fabric store. You're also going to need some yarn if you want to finish it with some binding to make it just a nice finish. You're going to need 2 of these. I use the double fold bias tape quilt binding. You're going to need some scissors, and you're going to need some yarn needles. So let's get started. I went ahead and laid out the fabric. I have limited space, so it's laid out on my kitchen floor. As you can see, I already went ahead and started tying one side. I'll show you how to do that in a second. But I just laid down both of the panels of fabric. And you put the right sides out. There is another way that you can sew up a quick baby blanket with the right sides together, and I can show you how to do that in a later one. But this one, you just lay it out, and I just smooth it out with my hands the best I can. If it's super wrinkly, you can go ahead and use the iron. I had it set up over there because it was pretty wrinkly. But I'll go ahead and show you how to tie it now. I usually just try to go in a straight line. If you want to mix it up, you can just make them random. But you just start by going down and then pulling it through, and then you want to go back up right as close as you can get next to the first one, and just bring it up. Now you can tie it at this point, or if your yarn is longer, you can just keep going up and down through it, and then you just tie it in a surgical knot, I think it's called. Just a really easy knot. You can also tie it in a bow if you want to, but there it is. And then you just go ahead and do that all the way through the blanket. Okay, as you can see, the blanket's tied. That's going to be fine for me. I tried to keep it in a straight line. Let's see, I made one line there, and one down the center, one on the edge, and then I put a few in the middle. If you want to put more or less, that's fine. It's just so it holds the blanket better together when you're washing it later. Pretty much. I don't know, it's cute. Anyway, so I tried to keep it as straight as I could. And now we're going to do the binding. If you don't have any binding like this, you could just fold these edges in. Let's see if I can do it with one hand. You just kind of fold it in like that, both sides, and then it should give you a finished edge. But I just find the bindings easiest. What you want to do is just match up your edges. If there's any that aren't matching, this shouldn't make a difference, but just cut around it, make sure it all matches up, and then you're just going to want to, I don't even pin it. You could pin it, but I don't. I just match it up. You're just sticking the edge of the blanket into the edge of the binding like that, and then you just sew right there on the edge. You can also round the corners a little bit. That's a little bit easier to put the binding on, but I'll show you how to do that in a second. Okay, I couldn't show you, but I just cut off a little edge there, so when you put the binding around, it's just a little bit easier to put on there, and I'll show you on the machine how to do that. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and show you how to sew the binding on. After you lined up all of your edges best as you could, you can do one of two things. You can pin the binding onto the blanket, or you can just eye it like I do. You have to constantly put the fabric in the binding. I stop pretty often and make sure I'm getting both sides. But you just go ahead and you open up your binding a little bit and tuck your fabric up in there, and I hold it tight. You can do a straight stitch, You can do a zigzag. Zigzag probably leaves you more room for error. I'm going to go ahead and do the straight stitch. Now I've already done some of this blanket, so I'm kind of showing in the middle here, but we'll come up on a corner soon. You can see how to do the corner. But see, I just stop and line it up. To some that might be frustrating. To me, it seems to go quicker. I don't know. Once you start going, you know, it goes quicker. I also went ahead and I sewed the 2 pieces of quilt binding that I had. I sewed those together so that I could just keep sewing. It was seamless. I don't have to stop and attach the other binding. It's already done. So I'll see you're just going along here. Looks pretty good on the other side. Like I said, I'm not a perfectionist, and so some of my sewing techniques might bug people, but hey, I get my stuff done quicker. I just made one of these baby blankets yesterday, and it took me about 20 minutes to do. I just did it while my little boy was asleep. It's pretty quick and easy. So we're on a corner here, and this takes a little bit of fussing with, but oh, see right there? There's the edges of the 2 bindings that I sewed together. But you're not really going to see anything on the outside edge. So it doesn't have to be perfect. So on the corner here, I'm just going to stop every once in a while, lift up my foot, adjust my fabric so it can straighten out. I was just going over the edge of the 2 bindings being sewn together. No worries. I'm going to lift up my foot. There we go. I think that my sewing just woke up my little boy. Okay, see, we rounded the corner, and now we're back on the straightaway. So just do that all the way around the edge, and I'll show you how to finish it up. Okay? Okay, we're coming up to the end here, and we're going to need to trim it so we can line it up with this other black part of the binding. So let's see, we'll just finish it up like that. Make a little snip where we need to cut. Cut right on the line there. Okay. We're going to have to sew up the edge, and I think I'll do a zigzag just because it'll cover up the line better if we do zigzag. It'll hide the line better. So let's see. I turned it around, and I'm going to do zigzag down that way. Okay, I was going to show you how to sew up the edges there, but my needle just broke. So just to finish this video, I'll just show you. So we just do a zigzag stitch all the way around right there, and that should cover up that edge that you see. So other than that, I just clip off the strings, and it's all done. Pretty easy blanket to do.